Good afternoon. I'm Larry Cunningham, the Dean and Provost of Charleston School of Law, and on behalf of President Bell, the Board of Directors, the faculty, staff, and alumni of the school, I'm delighted to welcome you to these commencement exercises. Please stand for the national anthem, which will be led by Tiffany Iser, a member of the graduating class of 2022, and then remain standing for the invocation by the Reverend H. Gregory West, founding pastor of the St. Clare of Assisi Catholic Church on Daniel Island. A brief introduction of Reverend H. Gregory West. He was born at St. Francis Xavier Hospital on Calhoun Street in Charleston during the eye of a hurricane and was raised as a fourth-generation Sullivan's Islander. He's an alumnus of Bishop England High School, the College of Charleston, Mount St. Mary's Seminary, and the Pontifical Gregorian School of Law in Rome, Italy. So he's a fitting person to deliver the invocation at our law school. In his 31 years of the ministry, he has held multiple leadership offices in the church throughout South Carolina. Currently, he serves as a judge in the ecclesiastical court of the statewide diocese, and in 2014 became the founding pastor of the St. Clare of Assisi Church on Daniel Island. Father West.
Good afternoon. Let me first reassure you of something. I was not the model for Count Chocula. Nor do I hang out in graveyards in the middle of the night. Congratulations to you, graduates. I share in your joy because I know what it feels like. When I went to law school, it was a little different. I had a different experience than yours. Mine was over in Rome, as the dean said. We had a 3-year program, which was at the time compressed into 2 years. And I had only 2 months to learn Italian because everything was taught in Italian and the books were all in Latin. We went to school 6 days a week, and that is why we were served wine with lunch every single day. So cheers to you. Let us pray. Lord God, creator and lover of all that is good and just, as we assemble today to celebrate the accomplishments of your children, keep us aware that we are called not to success, rather to greatness, not to be judgmental, rather to make judgments based on truth and mercy, not to wield power over others, rather to recognize that you empower us with the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Grant us, Almighty God, wisdom, perseverance, clear minds, and clean hearts. Make us witnesses to and promoters of all that which is inherently good, so that we may serve one another in humility and kindness. For none of us is without fault, and none of us has all the answers. Let your law, the law of love and mercy inscribed on every human heart, govern us and guide us, for we know that when this life is done, we shall stand before you, the great judge of all creation, to account for how we have been good and worthy stewards of your many gifts. In the words of the great St. Francis, born in Assisi, Italy in 1182, where he died in 1226, a man who promoted dialogue and mutual respect, we pray, Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you and welcome. Today is a wonderful day of celebration and thanks. Today is about our graduates. It is your day. 3 or 4 years ago, you began a journey that led you to this point. One day in August or January, you sat in a classroom, either in 385 Meeting Street or 81 Mary Street. You probably didn't know anyone. You had orientation. You heard from Dean Bell interesting facts in her "This is your class" remarks. You read and briefed your first case, the first of many to come. Very quickly, though, you made friends, formed study groups, joined student organizations, and realized that the dean at the time, Andy Abrams, baked brownies for you. You met our outstanding faculty and saw why they are routinely recognized in the top 10 in Princeton Review for excellence in teaching. You met our career services office professionals and saw how they would help you get internships and employment. You sat through assessments and final exams, completed writing assignments, and read countless cases. We celebrated together your accomplishments in moot court, mock trial, and our new transactional law team. We learned together through the Law Review's Law and Society Symposium with the Riley Institute of Furman University, and through the many professionalism series talks the school put on. We cheered the students who came before you and all of their successes, including the school's highest ultimate bar passage rate, which was posted by the class of 2019. The highest employment outcomes, which was posted by the class before you of 2021. And this February, our school's first-time bar passage rate in South Carolina was the highest since South Carolina became a uniform bar exam state. Our great law school was founded on a very special mission of pro bono populi, for the good of the people. That mission is reflected in our pro bono program, where students volunteer their legal talents with such great organizations as the Center for Heirs Property, the Public Defender's Office, Charleston Pro Bono Legal Services, the Probate Court, and 180 Place. I am pleased to report that you, the class of 2022, donated more than 38,000 hours of your time to pro bono and public service causes. In the short life of our law school, over 533,000 hours have been contributed in free legal services to our community. We are all proud of what you have accomplished and what you will go on to achieve as lawyers. And your voices and talents are needed now more than ever in the profession. The fight for justice takes many forms, whether it is representing those with or without means. The very rule of law depends on our profession to function. Without lawyers, there is no rule of law. So whether you will go on to practice corporate law, family law, personal injury law, family law, or any of the areas of our profession, whether you will do so in a firm for the government, a corporation, or a nonprofit, you will serve this important ideal by ensuring that it is the law that governs our disputes and our transactions, not brute force, not bribery, not threats, not arbitrary whim. And as you look ahead to your careers, I encourage you to reflect upon what has been involved with your journey to this point. College, the LSAT, applying to law schools, reading cases, taking exams and assessments and writing projects, completing your pro bono hours, your upper level writing requirement, working in externships and jobs. All of that hard work led you to this point. And now, so that we can offer our congratulations to you, I ask that the graduates of the class of 2022 stand and be recognized. But we know you didn't get here alone. You were supported along the way by your families, your friends, spouses, children, neighbors, nephews and nieces, siblings, significant others, many of whom are here with us. And so that you can show your appreciation to them, I ask the graduates to once again stand, this time to share your gratitude with everyone in the audience who helped get you to this point. Throughout law school, you were supported by the world-class faculty of the Charleston School of Law. Our faculty are not only teachers, but mentors. They challenged you to become crisper writers, better thinkers, and more ethical professionals. I ask that members of the faculty, including our adjunct faculty, to stand and be recognized. I'd now like to recognize 4 people who are playing special roles here today. The first is our lead student marshal and our new Student Bar Association president, Calvin Griffin, the first member of our January start class to serve in that role. The second is our Professor of the Year, Gene Stedman. Many of you had Professor Stedman for contracts, sales, or many of you had and survived contract sales and other courses with Professor Stedman, who both challenged and supported you through these difficult courses. As Professor of the Year, Professor Stedman will be reading the names of the graduates later. The faculty includes today's faculty marshal, Professor Constance Anastopoulos. The honor of faculty marshal is bestowed upon a faculty member who excels in the 3 pillars of academia: teaching, scholarship, and service. This year, Professor Anastopoulos was promoted to full professor. She's a recognized expert in insurance law, a topic that she writes on regularly, and she is a dedicated teacher. Our law school is committed to student success. It is our most important goal. The honor of Grand Marshal, therefore, is bestowed on an employee, faculty, administrator, or staff who exemplifies this commitment. This year's Grand Marshal is Nick Sanders, Associate Dean for Students, and himself a graduate of this law school. Whether it is helping a student get a job or helping someone through a crisis, Dean Sanders commits himself every day to helping every student with his or her professional development, and we are all grateful. I would like to ask Mr. Griffin, Professor Stedman, Professor Anastopoulos, and Dean Sanders to stand and be recognized. And now, as you go into the profession, remember this. You remain members of the Charleston School of Law community. That means we have your backs as you study for the bar exam, if you're looking for a job, if you decide to change jobs or become a judge or run for office, as I hope many of you will do. We're here for you. I encourage you to get involved with alumni events and give back by mentoring the next generation of law students. At this point in the program, I would be turning the podium over to my friend and the president of the law school, Ed Bell. Unfortunately, President Bell experienced an unexpected illness this week that prevents him from joining us today. He's on the mend and sends his regrets that he could not be here in person to offer his congratulations. I am pleased, however, to welcome a surprise guest, someone who is a good friend of the law school and at the very last minute dropped her other plans to be with us. To introduce our guest, I am pleased to call upon our faculty marshal, Professor Constance Anastopoulos.
Thank you, Dean Cunningham, Father West, distinguished guests, family, friends, and of course, our graduates. Congratulations to you. This is your day. He did say insurance law. I know that sounds really boring, and I might be the only person who gets super excited about that, but I do. It is my pleasure to introduce our convocation speaker. She is one of the most incredible jurists in the state of South Carolina. Judge Aphrodite Kondouris is a member of the South Carolina Court of Appeals. She currently serves as Vice Chairman of the Chief Justice's Commission on the Profession, a member of the South Carolina Senate Judiciary Sentencing Reform Commission, Subcommittee Chairman of the Supreme Court, Family Court Docketing Committee, a member of the South Carolina Bar's Vulnerable Adult Task Force, a member of the South Carolina Bar Pro Bono Board, and Lawyers Helping Lawyers Board. She is also the 2013 recipient of the American Board of Trial Advocates Jurist of the Year Award. She was elected to the Family Court in February 2002, and on February 6, 2008, Judge Kondouris was elected to the South Carolina Court of Appeals to finish the unexpired term of Chief Justice Donald W. Beatty. Judge Kondouris served as an adjunct professor for the Charleston School of Law for many years and was awarded an honorary doctorate in 2016. She and her husband, Sam Kondouris, live in Greenville and Seabrook Island, South Carolina. She is also the daughter of Big Jim Carvelis, who it is said never knew a stranger, and Christina Carvelis. And we have a joke between us, and that is, we ain't doing too badly for two Greek girls from the South. So, without further ado, my dear, dear friend, Judge Aphrodite Kondouris.
Thank you so much, Professor Anastopoulos. It's wonderful lawyers like Professor Anastopoulos and her husband and my husband Sam, who's also a lawyer, that gets y'all where y'all can pronounce Greek names. Dick Harpootlian told me one time it was very important when the first time he ran for everything because he had 20,000 bumper stickers made up and his name was never misspelled again. Okay, the light is terrible, so I have to hold this up. I'm sorry President Bell's not here. It's a well-known story that I met him when he was 15 years old, so I do know where all the bodies are buried. Dean Cunningham, members of the Board of Advisors, respected deans and professors, distinguished guests, and the graduating class of May 2022, I bid you a fine day. I know that when Professor Cunningham recognized family and friends, I didn't hear y'all. So let's hear you now. I know I join all your children and relatives and husbands and wives for thanking you for the tuna fish sandwiches and the late night phone calls and everything else it takes to keep a law student going when they are learning to speak that foreign language of law, and not quite as much as Father West did, but we do appreciate what you did for all these wonderful people that are here today. I am honored to address you today, most particularly a few of you who I did teach and who I'm pleased to see amongst the righteous. Congratulations to you, your family, and friends. I believe I speak for the whole dais when I say it feels like yesterday when we all graduated, and our joy is not abated. I love what I see in your faces, and I do applaud your efforts. You're privileged to have earned your law degree in the long shadow cast by my favorite South Carolinian, John Rutledge. Among his many accomplishments, he was president, then governor of South Carolina, Chief Justice of the United States, and a delegate to the Constitution Convention of 1787. There are those from Virginia that I don't hold with that say that Madison had more to do with the Constitutional Convention than John Rutledge, but Madison was the scribe, so I think he wrote his name in double, and I don't hold with that. John Rutledge brought to the Constitutional Convention the idea that jurisprudence should not just be founded on English law, but should contain American law. What American law, they said? Well, being well-read, like all Charleston lawyers like to think they are, he is said to have read lengthy tracts to the Convention of the Law of the Six Nations, an Iroquois treaty begun as early as the late 1400s that contained these words: "We the people, to form a union, to establish peace and equity and order." Tell me that's not good research to find that in a 1400 Indian treaty. I expect that from each of you, and you should expect it from yourselves. And now comes the litanies of do's and don'ts that is so prevalent to every commencement speech. So while most of you are still sober, listen up. Guard your reputation. You can lose it the first week you practice law. Do not lie. Do not even fudge the truth. Speak truth to power. Wear your big girl panties or big boy panties or any other memorable cliche that means don't sell yourself short. There are 10,000 people in your profession in this state alone, almost 13,000 now, that you can call before you make a rookie or a late life mistake. If you don't know what you're doing or you feel trapped in a situation, pick up the phone. You can reach your faculty, you can reach judges, you can reach other lawyers. Please do that. The old maxim that he who represents himself has a fool for a client is true. It might not be as bad as you think, but you might make it worse trying to fix it by yourself. Don't get me started on your generation's compunction to post everything. Should I say that again? Okay. No one wants to pay a large retainer to someone they can Google and see wearing a hula skirt and Groucho Marx glasses. That's probably exactly the thing that got them in trouble in the first place and not what they are looking for in their lawyer. Number 2, be kind to your family. There is enough misery in the average household without your bringing home some from a file cabinet full of cases at work. I'd rather you go to the gym than happy hour, but I know that's not going to happen, before you go home to decompress. But I can't say what works for you, but find what does. Compartmentalization needs to come early in your career. According to the canons of ethics, you are a lawyer 24/7, but you are also a human being, and regardless of the bad lawyer jokes, the two are not mutually exclusive. As my husband, who is a lawyer, knows, and definitely President Bell, who knew my mother only offered me 2 words of advice, but repeatedly: be sweet, be sweet. When the chips are down, your family is your rock, and your clients are business. Number 3, know the bailiffs by name. Every lawyer in this assemblage, from everyone on the dais to all the faculty, and Dean Cunningham on down, knows this to be the greatest tip I can give you. The edge between victory and defeat can be razor thin, and never forget, bailiffs, court reporters, and judges' secretaries know everything. Be nice to them, which is a variation on my mother's be sweet. Check on each other. We are all part of the legal coral reef. You will live and die together. I went through my graduating class of 1984 list of classmates in preparing my remarks, and I realized I'm involved or talk in one way or another with 33 just about every month. And that was a long time ago. And I don't mean Facebook. I mean I am in touch with them. I know what their voice sounds like. I see their face on FaceTime, for crying out loud. Your section and your study group were there for you, and you must continue to be for them. That means seeing them and talking to them, not just sending them funnies. Texting is not talking, in case y'all missed that. My law clerks, I have to remind them. Maintain an eager mind, read everything. As my students know, the advanced sheets come out every Wednesday from the Supreme Court, no later than 10 a.m. Get in the habit of stopping and reading immediately what the new law is in your state every Wednesday. Stop and read them because your judges are. And it is a bad day at BlackRock when the judge goes, how did the case that came out yesterday morning at 10 o'clock change your entire argument and is going to prevent you from winning? Explain that to me, young man. And if you haven't read it, it's tough. You feel like one of those cartoon characters that turns to liquid and just pools on the floor. Read bestsellers, periodicals, listservs, bar publications, your CLE materials, anything. It comes back to serve you well. It may be the difference in sending away a great case or keeping a bad one because you never heard of that subject matter. Last one. As part of the charter of this fine institution is the idea of giving back. I was just pleased to hear about that 38,000 hours. There are so many more opportunities for you to work through your state and local bars, wills clinics, Meals on Wheels, and such. Find out what you like to do it for a while, and then try something else. Never stay with something so long it becomes a chore. Somebody else is delighted to do it, and you need to do something else. Accept today that practicing law is hard. I wouldn't give 2 cents for a lawyer that doesn't have a pad and a pen on the night table to write down some winning point that percolates up through his or her brain in the middle of the night. It can and will consume you because the law is a jealous mistress. The theme I'm trying to put through is balance, but it doesn't sound like it to this point, and I get that. Unfortunately, to maintain balance, sleep is going to suffer, but you learned all about that in law school. John Wesley said, do all that you can, by any means that you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you can. If that's not a recipe for sleep deprivation, I don't know what is. But your law school skills will help you with that, and you're going to be expected to do everything and be a family participant and keep up with your social life and buy your mother a Mother's Day present and be over-prepared for every hearing. There's no magic to offer you. I just chuckle and say, good luck with all that. You've made your bed now and you must lie in it. It's a silly metaphor, but as you've all found, and the fastidious can explain, there's a big difference in just pulling the bed covers up and making the bed from scratch. One looks terrible and one looks great. It's a metaphor for life and certainly for the practice of law. Start over every time, get it straight, check your briefcase, check your folder, check your argument, check everything. The old adage from law school was 3 hours of prep for every hour of class. I know you've all slacked off on that, but dust it off for your first 5 years of practice. I can hear and feel Dean Abrams nodding his head. Our former Chief Justice Plakonis quoted the great law professor Bernard Metzger in an address which I really liked. If you've learned how to disagree without being disagreeable, then you have discovered the secret of getting along, whether it be business, family relations, or life itself. You are joining a profession. This is not a job. They don't call it practicing law for nothing. You stand for and with all other lawyers. Most clients only have one case in their whole life. You will be their touchstone for what a lawyer is for the whole history of their family. Your work will reflect on me as I reflect on you, and I expect you to shine. To your families and friends present with you today, I thank you most heartily again for your personal and monetary sacrifice. I know what it's like to live with and love a law student. I married mine. I cannot tell you it's going to be any easier to live with a lawyer, but on behalf of the Court of Appeals, I welcome family, friends, and the new graduates to the profession. I can assure you it ain't gonna be dull, and I will remember you all in my prayers. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge Kondoris. I'm now pleased to call upon the President of the Student Bar Association for the class of 2022, Mary Catherine Rogers.
Sorry, law school has made me blind. All right. Good afternoon, classmates, loved ones, members of the faculty and staff, and especially my wonderful and beloved parents, Bill and Elizabeth Rogers, and my sister Marissa, who made me put her in my speech this morning. I also want to thank the families and the parents who are present with us. Without you, none of the graduates of class of 2022 would be here today. Like many of you, my first semester of law school began in the fall of 2019 with an introduction of civil procedure from Professor Jansen. In his class, when you were cold called, you were in the hot seat to answer any question Professor Jansen would sling at you. Whenever you would give an elusive answer without adding any analysis, Professor Jansen would pause and say, "Tell it to Grandma." This meant to simplify your answer in layman's terms to show him you really understood and digested the material. As a study tactic, he would encourage you to explain intricate legal concepts to your parents, spouses, or grandmas to practice analyzing the law. So 1L year, my so-called grandma was my mother. And let me tell you, trying to explain personal jurisdiction to someone not in law school and coming from somebody who only learned it last week, it's a long phone call. But she always picked up and she endured the conversation with patience and love. And this story is important to me because it helps me remember something that is true for all of us, that none of us got to this day on our own, regardless of whether we were on the phone with a family member for hours on end explaining detailed legal theories, and if you were, I recommend apologizing. We all have a great multitude of people to thank for the many ways they supported us in our journeys. Each of us here has a so-called grandma in the room. So thank you for supporting us at our best and our worst and all the in-between over the past 3 years. This day is a celebration for all of us. Just talking about 1L year makes me laugh. 1L year, we knew nothing coming in, or at least I knew nothing. It seemed we were all eager, terrified, but ready to put in the work. We had achieved great things prior to law school, and we were ready to succeed, and then we went to class. During the second week of school, one of my classmates got cold called in our legal research and writing course for a question I for sure did not know the answer to. She was apparently in the same boat as me because she responded to the question with, "I plead the fifth." I thought it was genius, quick thinking and witty. Our professor, Dean Brown, did not share my sentiment and drilled in on the established line of questions. It was in that moment I realized I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was okay with that. I was learning. We all were. My learning did not end my first year. Just last fall, I was settling in as student body president and coming off an internship with the Navy JAG Corps, and I was about to speak at orientation for the incoming class of 2024. To sum it up, I was feeling pretty good about myself. I'm gathered down at the bottom of the stage of the music hall with Dean Cunningham, Dean Bell, Dean Sanders. It was dark and we were all wearing masks. There was another man standing in the group who I introduced myself to and struck up a conversation with. Nice man, mid-50s, but I hadn't seen him around law school before. After a few minutes of small talk, I casually asked, "So what do you do for a living?" He paused, chuckled, and said, "Well, no one's asked me that in a while. I'm a justice on the South Carolina Supreme Court." It's Justice James. That's when I knew I messed up. In that moment, it took me back to 1L year when I realized, again, I didn't know what I didn't know. It was a humbling moment, and it served as a great reminder that I will always be learning, and that is okay, and it's actually more than okay, it's a blessing. These stories illustrate what we all know to be true, that regardless of how far we've come and what we have accomplished to this point, whether we are witty or quick thinking, or whether we have earned the respect and trust of our peers, there is always more to learn. If our class desires to leave a legacy on this profession and the practice of law, I believe we can best do so by committing to a lifetime of learning and growth. The class of 2022 is full of game changers and earth shakers. This is the class that takes the gravel and the shell and makes a pearl. And all that hard work we put into succeeding in law school, that same determination and spirit will carry over into our careers. And throughout our careers, we will never stop learning, and that is a marvelous gift. Charleston School of Law has launched us into a career and culture of pursuing the highest caliber of legal knowledge and seeking justice in that pursuit. Going forward, I have no doubt class of 2022 will be the attorneys to watch. Until then, congratulations, classmates, we did it.
It's now my pleasure to present two awards that recognize outstanding contributions of our students. The William Bennett Regan Award is named in honor of Bill Regan, an outstanding public servant who for many years served as the City of Charleston's legal counsel. Selection for this award is based on commitment to public service and leadership. This year's recipient is Jonathan Barajas. Jonathan, please stand and be recognized. The Arthur Howe Trial Advocacy Award is funded by the South Carolina chapter of the American College of Trial Lawyers and is named in honor of one of the premier trial lawyers in South Carolina, Arthur Howe. The award is presented annually to the graduating student who best exemplifies excellence in trial advocacy. This year's recipient is Jake Nixon. Please stand and be recognized. The first law school in South Carolina was formed right here in Charleston in 1825. Known as the Forensic Club, it was chartered by the General Assembly in December of that year. Shortly thereafter, U. Swinton Legree delivered the first in a course of law lectures. The Forensic Club, long dormant, was revived in 2003 when the original charter was assigned to the Charleston School of Law. Today, to quote Professor Abrams, the Charleston School of Law has the unique distinction of being both the oldest and the youngest law school in South Carolina. Today, we recognize 6 of our graduates as new members of the Charleston School of Law Forensic Club. Their selection is based on 3 criteria: demonstrated leadership, professionalism, and academic commitment. Each of the individuals selected has abundantly demonstrated and met these requirements. Please hold your applause until I have read the names of all 6 inductees, who are Dylan Bitar, Jessica Carroll, Erica Collins, Patricia Dimsdale, Jonathan Gamble, and Mary Catherine Rogers. I ask that these new members of the Forensic Club stand to receive our special congratulations. At this time, I call upon Professor Margaret Lawton, the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, to present the degree candidates.
Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Dean Cunningham. I love doing that. All right.
Me too.
I have the privilege, on behalf of the faculty of the Charleston School of Law, to certify that the candidates presented for degrees have completed the requirements for the degree of Juris Doctor and are recommended for the conferral of their degrees in due course.
Thank you, Dean Lawton. Having received the testimony of the Associate Dean of Academic Affairs that you, the candidates, have satisfactorily complied with all of the requirements demanded by our academic regulations and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors, the South Carolina Commission on Higher Education, the American Bar Association, and on the recommendation of the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, I confer upon each of you the degree of Juris Doctor, together with all of the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated. And now the moment you have all worked so long and so hard for, the presentation of the graduates for individual recognition. Graduates, as your name is called, please advance to the podium, along that way, to be hooded by Dean Lawton and take 2 pictures, one as you are hooded and another over here with me. When members of the graduating class, please come forward and be recognized.
Taylor Barbara Ambrosius, summa cum laude. Talita Balaj. Jonathan Marcos Barajas. Chloe Elizabeth Barner. Shannon Lee Bassett. Dylan Christopher Bitar. Cassidy Marie Brillhart, cum laude. Jayla Elise Brown. Erica Simone Burkhart. Megan Elise Burns. Jacob Alexander Busey. Christian Patrick Butrica. Dominic Joseph Kallela, cum laude. Matthew Ryan Carey. Jessica Lee Carroll, magna cum laude. Evan Abel Carter. Malcolm Marquette Chester. Elizabeth Marie Conan. Erica Rachel Collins, summa cum laude. Jillian Ray Contestable. Timothy McLeod Cox. Amanda Lynn Cummings. Colin Hunter Davidson. Zachary Damian DeLeon, magna cum laude. Jared Christopher Dembski. Donald Whiteleg Divine III. Patricia Sue Dimsdale. Dennis George Dozier Jr. Olivia Ellis. Sarah Tamam Elzawari. David Alvin Estes III, magna cum laude. Alexandra Kate Evans. Bailey Lynn Ezornak. George Peter Fabian V. Jason Edward Finley. Rebecca Elizabeth Fisher. Jacob Nolan Francis Franklin. Kristen Glenn Free. Kelsey Ann Fulton. Anthony Alfred Gallo. Jonathan Allen Gamble, summa cum laude. Jewel Marie Gerding. Gino Sebastiano Germano. Alexander Blovin Jared. Catherine Hatteras Gergen. Grace May Glennon. Gregory Michael Glover II. Owen James Gogardi. Dominique Desiree Gonzalez. Joshua Allen Gurwell. Nicholas Ryan Harris. Stephanie Mary Harris. Alexander Yeager Harrison. Thomas Gray Harrison. Rebecca Carla Hess. Meredith Adelaide Hodges. Patrick Lewis Huff. Samantha Carol Iannarelli. Taylor Danielle Ivy. Tiffany Ann Iser. Molly Corinne Jankowski. Andrew Scott Johnson. Grayson Leslie Jones. Taraj Nabi Joya. Joseph John Kelman. William Charles Gray Kennedy. Sean Richard Kenny. Danielle Frances Kimball. Tony Marie Leneve. Casey J. Lang. Emily Lynn Ledford. Jamie Caroline Lista, summa cum laude. Michaela Nicole Maygard. Sarah Elizabeth Malone, summa cum laude. Maggie Keene Martin. Madison Janice McDougall. Jamie Lynn Menardi, summa cum laude. Harley Sarah Miller, cum laude. Daniel Foster Moe. Riley Ashlyn Moore. James Elliott Moran. Taya. Rosa Bernice Morataya. Michael Francis Moyer. Caitlin Mariana Needs. John Jacob Nixon, magna cum laude. Emmeline Grace Owens. Morgan Marie Page. Maria Petromichaelis. Eric Gregory Pettis. Chelsea Erica Phillips. Angela Rose Ponto. Jason Yoon Powell. Megan Elizabeth Powell. Anna Elizabeth Pruitt. Sadie Lizette Ramos. Taylor Nicole Reel. Mackenzie Lacey Redden. Monica Lynn Reese. Matthew Thomas Reitz. Damian Miguel Rhodes. Ariana Victoria Rodriguez. Mary Catherine Rogers, cum laude. Taylor Ann Rumble. Jacob Lowell Rushing. Andrew Michael Satz. Amy Marie Saucus, magna cum laude. Brooke Ashley Saxinger. Aaron Elliott Shear, magna cum laude. Samantha Elizabeth Schuster. Rachel Noel Ship. Shelby Ann Sipe. Kristen Marie Sippos. Samantha Josephine Smead, summa cum laude. Sierra Nicole Smith. Elizabeth Zibby Holland Smith. Lexis Jean Smith. Shelby Elizabeth Spencer. Hannah Ray Stern. Jamie Francis Zarek, cum laude. John Andrew Tanner III. Alfred Jerome Terp III, magna cum laude. Liston Giovanni Thomas. Christopher Reed Tidwell. Cody William Titus. Lauren Elizabeth Tufo. Tyler Matthew Vaccarella. Lainey Elizabeth Van Zyl. Rhonda Lise Vuletich. Danielle Marie Walker. Marshall Don Walls II. Camille Desiree Wheel Thomas. Lindsay Ann Weathersby. Kevin Michael Webb. Megan Elise Wheeler, summa cum laude. Stacy Faye Witt. Matthew O'Neill Williams. Denham McCall Wilson. Charlotte Banning Winkler, magna cum laude. Esther Flora Wininger.
Let's have another round of applause for all of our graduates. I'm now pleased to call upon Ryan Andrews, Vice President of the Alumni Association, to welcome you, our newest graduates, to the ranks of the alumni.
Thank you, Dean Cunningham, Judge Conduras, distinguished faculty, honored graduates, family and friends. Thank you for including me on this very special day. It's my privilege and honor to congratulate and welcome you all as the newest alumni of the Charleston School of Law. When I was thinking about what to say today, I drew a blank. I wanted to give you all some meaningful, enlightening, and motivating advice, but I didn't want to stand up here and give the same old boring speech from an alum, where I tell you today you join a group of proud, prestigious, and respected alumni in one of the most esteemed and noble professions. You all know that. At the same time, I didn't want to scare the hell out of you and say, look to your left, now look to your right. If you don't start studying today, you're not going to pass. One of those people's not going to pass the bar. I don't think that's good motivation. Then I thought, should I lighten the mood a little bit and tell some lawyer jokes, like the one where the lawyer woke up from surgery and asked his nurse, hey, why are all my windows covered? To which the nurse replied, well, there's a huge fire across the street and we didn't want you to think you died. No, I don't think this is the place for lawyer jokes. It's not appropriate. So, to be honest with you, I was having a real hard time coming up with something to say, which, for your benefit, means my remarks are going to be pretty short. In all seriousness, in preparation for today, I reflected on my time as a practicing attorney since I graduated in this room in 2013, and I hope I can impart a few words of advice that will be helpful to you as you begin your new careers. First, remember who you represent. You are now graduates of the Charleston School of Law and now represent its alumni. In the coming months, when you all pass the bar, you will also be representing clients through many different complex legal issues. As new attorneys, no matter how much you want to believe otherwise, you do not, nor will you ever know it all. That's okay. Representing CSOL alumni has its benefits. The alumni, as well as the faculty here, remain ready, willing, and able to help you as you begin and continue to navigate through your legal careers. As attorneys, you have a duty to diligently and zealously advocate for your client. The alumni are here to help, and to this day, I continue to seek the advice about different legal issues from my colleagues, both the alumni and faculty, some of which are in the room today. I consider myself very fortunate to have that connection and urge you to take advantage of the same. You will learn that most legal issues in which you will face may not be novel, and many of your fellow alumni will have encountered similar issues before, so there will be no need for you to reinvent the wheel. Utilize this network. Second, remember where you're from. I'm not necessarily talking about the hometown where you're from and where you grew up, but rather this school and this profession. While this career will undoubtedly at some points cause you to feel angry, frustrated, and defeated, it is important to always remain civil and never lose your integrity, as your actions represent the legal profession as well as the school. One thing I found quite remarkable is that while in most cases the practice of law is adversarial in nature, a number of attorneys, especially CSOL alumni with whom I've worked in the past, remain civil and professional, even during the most hotly contested issues. It makes sense, though, as it is easier to obtain a favorable resolution for your client when you can have an open and calm conversation with opposing counsel. Remember, you will not be doing your current client, or any future clients for that matter, any favors by having unnecessary battles and losing your cool with opposing counsel. And you never know where your legal career may take you, and never know who you may be working for or working against in the future. Even though the Charleston School of Law is still a rather young institution, its notable alumni have already accomplished many great feats throughout not only the state of South Carolina, but throughout the rest of the country and the world. There are many successful solo practitioners and also in-house counsels at huge companies. We have many alumni who are partners in prestigious law firms. Our alumni are also professors, judges, legislators, and politicians. Some are attorneys for the federal, state, and local governments. We even have an alumni on a reality television show. As alumni of this institution, you have the ability to succeed in whichever career path you choose. In closing, I want to borrow a phrase I heard Dean Cunningham say the other day at an awards banquet. Come back. Come back to share the greatness of the careers I have no doubt you will achieve. Come back for any help or advice that you may need throughout those careers. And come back to pay it forward to the next group of alumni who will follow in the future. Congratulations on now being an alumni of the Charleston School of Law. Good luck, and may God continue to bless you.
We would be remiss if we did not thank some key people who helped to assure that today's ceremony would be appropriately celebrated. I ask you to recognize the members of the Charleston Brass and our interpreter, Amanda Hanley, and representatives from AV Connections and Grad Images, the photographer. I would also like to thank Calvin Griffin, Father West, Dean Sanders, Mary Catherine Rogers, Ryan Andrews, Judge Condoris, Professor Anastopoulos, and Professor Gene Stedman for their participation. Please join me in extending appreciation as well to all of the Charleston School of Law staff and administration and student marshals, Kate Bannock, John Carr, Scott Childress, and Chris Fulmer, who put countless hours of hard work into making today's event such a joyous success. I may leave someone out, so forgive me, but thank you especially to Michael Banks, Jacqueline Bell, Nancy Betancourt, Linda Ederari, Jamie Hires, Captain Grady Mason, Laura Morse, RJ Quillinan, Sandra Restrepo, Nick Sanders, Shira Silvas, Vic Silvas, Monica Toomer, and Taylor Withers. And a particular special thanks to the person sitting in the room wearing the white and black striped dress, who led the planning and execution of today's event from beginning to end, my executive assistant and the person who keeps me sane, Diane Rexroth. I invite each of you to join us following today's ceremony for a reception in honor of our graduates. The reception will be held on the parade ground immediately following the ceremony. Graduates, as is the tradition, there will be a group photograph taken of your graduating class. This picture will be taken on the bleachers right there on the parade ground, that general direction. After the group photo has been taken, you can join your family and friends for the reception. Marshals will be available for anyone requiring assistance. And now, I'd ask you to please stand for the final time for the singing of America the Beautiful, led by Tiffany Iser, a graduate of the class of 2022, and then please remain standing for the recessional of the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates. Ms. Iser.